Pedophilia is a curious thing. We hate it, we scorn it, we frown upon it, and we hardly ever talk about it in any other way than when someone who can't stand the pressure anymore is put into prison and we wish them a happy trails to hell. But what is pedophilia? What is pedophilia in nature? What role does it have? This is an important question before we judge any of them. What is the meaning of pedophilia? Now, the point is that we in culture generally don't know a lot about it, while I myself have done a lot of research in the matter, in that I am one of them. And the point is that it's almost been a spike in my soul and myself that I'm, on one hand, a good person. I'm not a bad person. I do things good. I do for the good. I do for love. While at the same time having a sexuality where I deeply need to destroy. This is a polarization of opinion and a deep relations to my crisis that I used to have before I deducted all this. That how can I be a person of love, wanting love and creating love and doing everything I can for love in every aspect of my life? I've been working 40 years to find the AIs that will get us out of hell. And on the other hand, having the need to destroy a little girl. And we're not talking destruction, we're talking rape, killing and eating. Why am I created like that, I wonder, right? We all have these questions about ourselves and what one relations to one part of ourselves that society doesn't approve of or another. But why am I created like a person of love? And I really mean it. I do everything I can out of love, out of curiosity for life, and out of respect for the same. And then at the same time, and I've said it again, be a person who deeply needs to go on a hunt and kill anything that will stand between me and my preteen pussy. How is that? As it turns out, it's not that far from each other. In fact, being a good person is one way to relate to yourself in society and with your peers, while sexuality is a whole other aspect of the same, but separated in situations that are different from one another in this. The point is that in nature you have violence everywhere. And while we are frowned upon in culture for being paranoid and scared and having angst and anxiety, then in nature there is nothing but. In nature there is an omnipotent eternal battle where you constantly must be vigilant, aware, and scared in order to make it, thus having half of your psyche there, the other half being able to kill. So there's nothing wrong with you being angst. There's nothing wrong with you being paranoid, because you are surrounded by hunters everywhere. The nature of the bitch is essential to understand. When you have a female in a group and you have a male in a group, there's a hierarchy. The cock must decide. It's essential because back 65 million years ago, when we were what are they called? Rats under the feet of the dinosaurs, we shared resources. Back then there was not one rat doing for oneself. There was like Rikki-Tikki-Tavi, a lot of them that fended together and worked together to stop enemies, to harvest resources together, and whom lived together in groups. This means a lot of things. It means a hierarchy based on strength, from the strongest and wisest leader to kilojoules energy being dispersed evenly, or enough, or so there was enough between all members of the parties, even the females who carried the children, and thus didn't contribute with their lives to the hunt, but who got to eat anyway for being there. But the point is, if you're not gonna if you're not gonna contribute to the hunt, then I'm gonna fucking take from you what I want from you, because my life is at jeopardy while you eat. So I want something out of that. And over time, sexuality became a relation between us having the need to kill that is inbuilt in every male, also some females in nature, but every male has the definition: we must kill to be here, because you got to eat someone who dies for you to be here. So in nature, sexuality is separated from that killing instinct. It's just a killing instinct, and you have to procreate 1 or 2, 3 weeks a year to make sure there's more offspring, which you then do, but then continue your journey forward as a killer until you get eaten and killed and eaten yourself. And that's the whole trip. But in groups, it's not prudent to have a killer who kills everything. It's prudent to have sexuality and the killing instinct put together over time in evolution, so that we kill with our member. Basically, sex is killing. Any female you can ask wants to be dominated, and for her the feeling is like being killed. That's how, like she's being pierced, and it feels really good for her because that's her nature providing her gratitude. So the whole structure is that we have rats under the feet of the dinosaurs, and then this huge meteor coming crashing down over by Mexico, and then all the dinosaurs dying, and one of our species back then, our ancestors were amongst the species to survive, and we did so working together in groups. And because we have to make the group dynamic work, we can't kill our peers. So we have to get an outlet for our killing instinct by being loving, by being cooperative, by being sharing of good times, but also sharing of violence. So the female suddenly receives the violence. We don't know when we grouped up to be. I don't know when we grouped up to be a team together, but I know the males dominates the females because she's weaker and she doesn't provide for the hunt, and that the males must have a bonus for doing this, providing them with sex. The females providing the males with sex. But this didn't appear till much later. But when it did, when we had been a group so long that the killing instinct of the male became combined with sexuality. So like spider fangs and snake venom and claws of a lion, the weapons given to us by nature, when the claws when the cock and the killing instinct became combined, so we moved spiritually, physically, the killing instinct to the member, and thus received orgasms for killing her. Then things started working out. Then culture was a path intertwined in relation, and this means that cock must be taught, leading not just to the fact that females must be educated into being bitches, but that the educator must be wise enough to handle his education of the bitch, so she's not sorely lost in abuse, but taught through cultural evolution and physical evolution and group dynamics, taught about sex in a way where she A, discovers that it's beautiful, and B, are taught to be a bitch in a way that she's built to receive it. So she basically, the whole aspect of my sexuality here today is sexual frustration after 40 years, 45 years, 46 years, where I haven't been with what I need, and ultimately also it's an aspect of it's an aspect of the female learning to be a bitch. Okay, she must learn to be so from cultural definitions, natural definitions, and from her own nature. She thrives by being a bitch because everything is about gratitude in nature. So if she doesn't learn how to be one, she can't be one, and thus she becomes unhappy. And the men has no place for their content. So pedophilia is basically the meaning of life. Thank you.